Hello, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to make a card for you using the old / new stamp set called Hey Chick. This actually was, I think, in a Celebration catalog a year or two ago, and they brought it back. And this time they brought it back with some dies. So super cute dies. So we're going to make a card with this. Just making sure I got everything. Okay, so we're going to start with a Daffodil Delight card base. Measurements and links to the actual products will be in the description below. And also in my blog, and that will have a link below as well. So I have a Daffodil Delight card base. I also have a piece of Tasteful Textures DSP. I believe that's what this is called. And I'm going to use this kind of light wood grain piece. This is going to go on here with, so it's going to have just a little bit of the Daffodil Delight as the mat in the back. So we'll just go ahead and stick that on right now. All right, and then I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I'm going to bring in a piece of white. This measures at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a little bit of blending in the background. I'm going to use Pool Party for like a sky, and pear pizzazz for like a grounding or grass. And I'm going to use some blending brushes. This is an old one I have, and this is the Stampin' Up! Ones. I really like the Stampin' Up! Ones, but I already had this for my blues, so I'm just going to keep using this. This technique still baffles me. Like, I'm still practicing with it. I don't feel like I'm the best at it. So, but I think that that's really good for people to see, is that you don't have to be perfect or great at something, and that everyone's learning. And even, I don't know, 6-7 years into card making, I still have things that I'm working on, or that I just am not good at, and I'm not sure if I ever will be good at. So, I don't know if you could see that or not, but I took my blending brush and I just went into my Pear Pizzazz ink pad, got some ink onto my brush, and then try not to get messes onto my card here. Actually, I'm going to use a piece of scrap to help pull my card down, so that if I get ink on my fingers, I'm not hopefully getting it onto the panel. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this on maybe about 1/2 inch to 1 inch on the bottom here, and I'm going to start off the cardstock, and I'm going to go real light, and I'm just going to go in circular motion. And I start off the cardstock because I don't want to have this big dark blotch on my cardstock. Now, I'm going to give it just a tiny bit more pressure because I want it to be a little bit darker. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more ink from my ink pad. I think my ink pad actually might need to be inked again. But, all right, so I'm going to start off again and come onto my cardstock. And you can see it starting to get darker here. I think I'm probably about 1 inch maybe even a little more than that up actually, but you can do it however high you want. It doesn't matter. Now I have a pretty good blend here, but I want the bottom to be a little bit darker. So this time I'm going to ink up, and I'm going to try to stay just toward the bottom to really kind of get that a little bit darker. And I'm not sure if you can see or not, but I did, you probably can, I did have some little marks come off. I think there's, for some reason, there's like a little mark in my, blending brush. I'm sure that I can probably take care of that. I'm not sure what happened or how I did that, but I'm not too worried about it. Some of this will end up being covered up anyways as we go along. So I'm done with my pear pizzazz. So I'm going to close that up and set it aside. And now I'm going to use my pool party to do a little bit of a sky. And I'm going to try to keep it kind of away from this green area because I don't want to blend the two together. So I'll go ahead and pick up some of my pool party ink, start off my paper, and blend. And this brush I don't like as well, so actually I'm going to start a new, oh these feel so soft and nice. I love them. I'm going to start a new brush. That brush just, I don't know, whatever. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just blend about the same amount down as I did with the green. I think I'm actually going to go just a little bit further down. I don't mind some white space between the two colors, but I don't want it to be too drastic, like too much, I mean, so. All right, let's look at that, see what it looks like. All right, I'm okay with that. Looks pretty good. It's a little bit darker down here than I wanted it to be, but the angle I'm at, I was having a hard time seeing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my pool party aside, and actually I'm just gonna do a light over this section right here. Just make it a little a little lighter and a little more blended. There. All right, so that is the background. Now what we're going to do is I've already cut them out. We're going to use some pieces from the die set. So I cut this cute little sign, and I used the same wood DSP looking paper to make the sign. You could just, you know, use white if you want, but I thought it'd be kind of cute. It's like a little wood sign. So I have a little wood sign. I also have a corn stalk, and I used garden green for the corn stalk. I have 3 pear pizzazz pieces that are part of the ear of corn. It's the husk that you would peel off. And then I have 3 Daffodil Delight corn cobs. All right, So I'm going to get out my little craft mat here, my silicone craft mat, and a Stampin' Sponge, just like about a quarter of one or so. This is what I use to glue this stuff together. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this corn stalk down. So I'm going to just put it upside down on my craft mat. Hopefully you can see me doing this. Push it over here a little bit. All right, and then I'm just going to tap it around here. You don't need a ton of glue, but I do want to try to have glue on all the pieces so that it holds completely down on my card. All right. And there's my stalk. I'm going to add my stalk over here on the far left of my card. And it's actually a little bit further over than I wanted, but I've already kind of stuck it down, so I'm just going to leave it there. That's fine. Don't matter. All right. There's my stalk. Now, when I made my first card, I actually couldn't use, well, I could, I guess, but I was struggling to use this glue technique with these pieces. They're so teeny tiny that I decided glue dots to the rescue. Seriously, I could really use glue dots on most stuff. And the cool thing about glue dots is, to me, is that they give teeny bit of height. Not a lot, but a teeny bit of height. It's kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to put my corn stalk on the back of this husk. Whoops. If I can get it here. So I'm going to put my glue dot on the back of the husk, and it literally just fits. But it's a matter of getting it to stay. This one ended up folding, but that's fine. Then I'm going to take my corn cob and I'll make sure it's facing the proper way so you can see the indentations of the corn. And I'm going to attach it to the back here. And there is one corn cob. We'll just set that aside for a moment. And another way that you could do this, and I'll do it real quick to show you, is you could take your liquid glue and put a tiny bit of liquid glue here. The only reason why I wasn't doing it this way is sometimes I have a heavy hand and it comes out a lot more than I want. But this one was perfect, so this is great. All right, there's another corn cob. If I can just get it to flip here. And one more corn cob. And actually the die set has 4 separate husks and corns for you to dye. So you can just do them at once and you don't have to do like one at a time. So that's really nice. All right. So there's my 3 corn husks. Now I'm going to use glue dots again for this next part. I'm going to glue dot the corn on the cobs onto my stalk. And I don't really have any rhyme or reason as to where I'm placing these. I'm just kind of placing them. Oops. And then my last one. We'll place it right here. And I don't know if you noticed, but they're kind of curled up a little bit. I won't want to have like that dimension. And if they're not curled, I go ahead and just give them a little bit of a curl. All right. So there's my corn stalk. It's super cute. I really like it. It's kind of a lot of work. I mean, not a ton, but it's like you gotta die cut all the little pieces and then glue it all on. It's more work than I usually do because I'm a lazy stamper, or lazy card maker. But anyways, it's super cute. So worth it. So next, we're going to take this cute chicken. I mean, they're all cute, but this one. And we're going to stamp it and die cut it. I'm going to stamp it in Memento because I'm going to use some Stampin' Blends to color this. But I'm actually not going to color it significantly at all, like barely anything. So there's my cute chicken. And from this set, I'm also going to stamp, I think I'm going to stamp Hey Chick. And then inside, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. But let me look for Hey Chick. So Hey Chick is actually going to go on the sign. And this one's a little too small. Let's move up. All right. So the Hey Chick is going to go on the sign. And just to make sure that I'm going to do it kind of straight, I like to make sure that it's straight sometimes. I look at it and I think, yeah, that looks pretty good. But what I do is sometimes I go on my paper where the inches are and then I kind of line it up right above and I stamp and then I see how good it looks. And it actually is pretty straight. Don't mind those, but it's a little higher than I want. So now it gives me an idea of where I want to place this. And I don't have like a line on here, but it gives me an idea of overall placement. So I'm going to go ahead and try to line this up, and it really just fits on here. Like, I mean, it doesn't like look like it's going to go off the sides or anything, but it fits nicely. See? Super cute. I hope you saw, you know what? You might not have saw that. I'm so sorry. But it's cute. It says Hey Chick. So it's on my sign. The sign's going to wait now. Now, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to get some Stampin' Blends. And I'm only going to use Calypso Coral Light, Daffodil Delight Light, and Light Smoky Slate. And there's really going to be hardly any coloring at all. I'm going to do the Daffodil Delight on the beak, which you can really hardly see at all. Actually, I'm going to do the dark on there, just so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. So there's that. Then I'm going to do the light Calypso Coral and color the comb and the wattle. Yes, they have names. That is the comb and that is the wattle. And then I want this chicken to actually be white. There is not a lot of white on my piece here. I mean, there's some right here, but there's more color. And so I'm just going to take my smoky slate and I'm going to give just a little bit like shading to all of these like feathery areas. I think that it looks nice to like almost like it's a shadow of the feathers. So just give a little bit of color to those pieces, including the actual wing. There. That's literally all I am doing to that. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a real quick cut. I'm going to die cut this in my machine. And I like to try to line up the feet first, so hopefully my head's not in the way. The feet first so that I don't get them cut off, and then I can kind of maneuver the rest of it once I think the feet are in place. Put a piece of washi tape, hold it down. Cut out my chicken. Now we're gonna look at it. So cute. And it did go off a little bit when it went through the machine, but it's not cut off, so we're good. We're just gonna go with it. And I'm going to pop this cute chicken up on some Stampin' Dimensionals. All right. And then I have my sign. So here is what I'm not sure what I want to do. I could place my sign like, nope, I'm going to do it the way I did with my original. So I'm going to put my chicken down on my original, and I'll show you in a minute. I had the chicken kind of almost like it was had one foot up and up because it was walking, but I think this time I'm going to have it like facing downward. And then I'm going to take the sign and I'm going to place it a little bit behind the chick, and you won't even know that it's just a short sign. It would look like it's just in the ground behind the chick. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere that with my Stampin' Seal. And where's my, here it is. I'm going to use this too because I want to do it on that end of the post part of the fence, and I don't want to get that Stampin' Seal all over my paper. And I'm just going to fold that in a bit. All right, now I want it to be up actually kind of higher than I was showing you, so I'm just going to take a minute to kind of move it around to decide where I want it to be. And yeah, I think I want it to be like right here, slightly slanted behind the chick, which is about where I think I put it in my first one. So, all right, now all we really got to do to finish at least the front of the card is adhere this. So let's put some Stampin' Seal on here and adhere it to the front of my card. Now, this does seem a little plain here, so if you wanted to, like, before you put that on there, you could wrap some, like, linen thread. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. That was not the plan, so it's going to take me an extra minute or two here, but I'm going to try it. So I got some linen thread. I love this stuff. This, like, goes with pretty much everything. But yeah, let me just unravel this. And then I'm going to, I did kind of push it down already, but I'm going to try to carefully peel that top part off. I'm not going to peel the whole thing. Gonna have it be held up with that. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around the card. And I'm going to do it twice. This is much easier to do before you put it down, but I had already put it down, so this is what we're doing. All right. I'm going to move that. I'm going to kind of pull that taut, and I'm going to put that down. All right, so now I can just kind of move this where I want it to go. And I want it to be up toward the top. Oh yes, I'm gonna like it. I'm already decided. I like it. So I'm going to just go over here and tie a little bow. Now, me and bows, if you know anything about me, you know bows are not my friend. I don't know if it's my fat fingers or if it's my brain not communicating with my fingers, but me and bows do not make the best friends. But this might be all right. It's a little looser than I wanted, but I'm gonna be okay with that. So now I'm just going to make it the size that I want. I don't want it to be too big. Yes, perfect. I gotta say, I actually really like this little addition that I did not originally do in my first one. And again, I'll show you that in just a moment. So I'm going to put a little glue dot though behind that, just to kind of help hold it in place, especially because it's a little looser than I like, but I stink at making bows. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick that glue dot back there. And the linen thread is so thin that the glue dot has to really be kind of rolled up pretty well. And then just kind of maneuver this how you will. And ta-ta-ta-ta is my cute little card. You can do something to the inside or you can leave it blank. I'm not going to do anything to this one currently, but I will show you the inside of my other one. So let me just move some stuff out of the way real quick here. And get my card. All right, so here's this one, and here's my first one. You can see, as I said, this one I had her almost like she was like waddling and walking. I didn't put the cornstalk over as far, and actually I think I might like it over pretty far. And my sky was really struggling with it. I think this one blended better, and actually this one I used this old Dollar Tree blending brush. They do work, but I gotta say, and this is not because I sell the Stampin' Up, this is because I truly, I like to save money. So this Dollar Tree one, amazing because it's $1. But when I got these and I tried them, I was like, this is best. This is best. Seriously, you need these. If you like the blend, you need these. So anyways, but yeah, in general, it's like the same. It's the same card, but I really like that little addition of adding the bow. And on this one, I did it inside, and I had a little scrap piece from the background. So I placed that on there. I stamped in Memento ink, "You're a good egg." And then in Memento stamped off once, I did a second generation stamping of this little egg from the set that has a little crack in it and little chicken feet. Super cute. So that is my card for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, let me know. Please give my video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I would really love to be your demonstrator. If you are interested in Stampin' Up, joining, or buying any of the products, let me know. I have the link to my online store below and the link to all of the products to make this card. Thanks for joining. Have a good night.